The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and you might notice that things look a little bit different right now. I'm trying a slightly different format, camera position, and etc. for a quick little news video here. And now I know that some of you are thinking, Sean, you're sitting in an office chair, you have a display of Power Rangers toys behind you, you're obviously ripping this off from Ranger Liz. You're probably right. Now, if I'm making a news video, I must have a pretty major announcement to talk about, and indeed I do. Now, this wasn't exactly something that was unanticipated, but it being confirmed is still a pretty major deal. For the first time since the 2010 MMPR reversioning, Power Rangers will no longer be airing on Nickelodeon following the season. So 2021 has been an interesting year for Power Rangers, as the TV show has kind of been airing in two places at once. The first 8 episodes of Dino Fury aired on Nickelodeon, and then the show went on its traditional hiatus. However, when the show was first posted to Netflix, we got the first 11 episodes, making Netflix the premier location for episodes 9, 10, and 11. Then things got quiet again until September. On September 18th, Dino Fury returned from its Nickelodeon hiatus with episode 9, which most of us had already seen on Netflix. It took until October 9th for the show to move past Netflix, airing episode 12, Super Hot Shot. And just 6 days later, October 15th, Netflix posted the second half of Dino Fury's first season, episodes 12 through 22. Well, we now have it directly and completely confirmed that we're not going to be seeing that back and forth next year. The Nickelodeon era will come to an end. An article was published by Deadline on Thursday, October 21st, exclusively reporting that the second season of Power Rangers Dino Fury will air exclusively on Netflix. The Nickelodeon contract with Power Rangers will be allowed to expire and will not be renewed. Now, I will say right off the bat, we don't know anything more than that. Netflix Family's Twitter only added that the second season of Dino Fury will be debuting on Netflix in spring 2022, so that doesn't really narrow it down much. Surprisingly, the Deadline article actually does contain some minor plot spoilers, which I guess, if anything else, confirms that it is legit. And it is, by the way, for any of you two-source journalists like me. Basically everyone involved with the story retweeted the article and confirmed it. But I've always said, I don't break the news, I review the news. So what is my reaction to all this? I feel like I should break my reaction into 2 parts. Power Rangers leaving Nickelodeon and Power Rangers moving to Netflix. We'll start with Nickelodeon, and I'm sorry to say, I'm very happy to see the Nickelodeon era end. Power Rangers and Nickelodeon should have been a match made in heaven. The #1 children's TV network and the #1 live-action kids TV show. It obviously has not worked out that way. Once Nick had Power Rangers, they just didn't seem to care about it very much. It was rare to see the show advertised, and when it was those season or mid-season trailer-type commercials, whereas their very similar shows, such as the live-action superhero Henry Danger franchise, got episode-specific commercials. And of course, Nick forcing this outsider show to conform to its weird 22 episodes a calendar year airing format, when that fundamentally changed the way the show was written, produced, and aired. It brought about the dreaded summer hiatus, when the show would not air new episodes for months and months and months, surely killing interest within its core demographic. It's just really confusing why this couldn't have worked out better. Was this a similar situation to Disney, where they were uncomfortable with Power Rangers' violent premise? Or was it really just hubris, pride, a feeling that Power Rangers needed Nickelodeon more than Nickelodeon needed Power Rangers? Either way, Power Rangers leaves another TV network, and this time, traditional TV altogether. And that brings us to the move to Netflix. Anyone wondering if I'm in favor of this decision can go back and watch the video I made a few years ago declaring Netflix the best possible home for the show. But OR, you say, using the cute shorthand, just last year you made a video where you said that Nick was the best place.
Not so fast!
I actually said that I felt like Nick was where the show was going to stay. Happy to be wrong about that, by the way. Even in that video, I said I still felt like Netflix would be the best possible home. But let's acknowledge some challenges first. Yes, Power Rangers is now going to be airing behind a paywall. Technically it already was, since Nickelodeon is on cable, but nonetheless, there are surely some families that pay for cable, but are not going to pay for Netflix just so their kids can watch Power Rangers. That is sad, but it's a symptom of the times. Netflix is still the king of the streaming space, even as that streaming space has splintered into a vast number of different providers. Netflix has 74 million subscribers in the US and Canada, at least as of last July. It's nigh on ubiquitous, and I think it has been adopted by enough households in the United States for a show like Power Rangers to stake its claim there alone. Netflix has had and has a number of exclusive child properties on its service. I distinctly remember the first time I saw Voltron toys in Walmart with that exclusively on Netflix label on them, thinking to myself that that is how a move like this would work. You see, there's a kids action hero series exclusively on Netflix, and look, it's still selling toys.
Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Now there are a couple of lingering issues that I feel like we should discuss here. One is that oddly enough, I think the scheduling problem caused by Nickelodeon's weird airing schedule won't necessarily be solved by the move to Netflix. I'm of course talking about the hiatus between new episodes. Take a look at this season. We had 11 episodes of Dino Fury posted in June, and then the other 11 posted in October. July, August, September. 3 months is a lot better than the 6 months we got with Nickelodeon, but you're still talking about a long gap without any new episodes. Now, streaming services are still kind of the Wild West where you can't really ever be sure how they're going to air a show. Sometimes a show will be posted all at once, sometimes it'll be posted a week at a time, sometimes you get it in batches, so we'll have to see how this works for Power Rangers going forward. But the only current example we have on how Netflix would handle Power Rangers would suggest that we might not be done with hiatuses just yet. The other is an issue that I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about, and yes, I agree. It's weird that Netflix is going to be the exclusive home of Power Rangers going forward, while so many of the past seasons are no longer on the service. Hasbro's approach to uploading those seasons to YouTube still feels scattershot and random. It's neat that so much of the previous parts of the franchise will be available for free, and maybe that is their answer to the paywall problem. Yes, it's sad that you now have to pay to watch new Rangers, but look at all of these old Rangers you can watch for free. This secures one important part of the future of the Power Rangers franchise, but not all of it by any means. I haven't really seen any news of a contract with Netflix for any certain number of years going forward. And we have that bit of news/rumor, depending on who you ask, that I feel like a lot of fans are choosing to willfully ignore, at least for the moment. Reports of a Hasbro-Toei divorce that cast the future of Power Rangers in something of an uncertain light. Now, I don't think that Netflix would rescue a single season of Power Rangers just out of the goodness of their hearts. We know that there's a movie coming, and as I think it will still be at least somewhat uncertain whether it's completely safe to see movies in movie theaters in 2022, 23, 24, whenever that movie comes out, we may end up seeing a day one Netflix release alongside the movie's theatrical release. And if Power Rangers is venturing into doing an original series not based on any sort of footage, what better place for that than Netflix, where you can be a little more avant-garde and change some things up? You're not on TV anymore, so there's a lot less restrictions. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get a whole bunch of rated R cursing and blood in Power Rangers, but you don't have to be as safe. So this was just a quick little news video to give you all my take on this news. I am, once again, very excited and happy to hear about this, and I'm very much looking forward to the real official start of the Netflix era with Dino Fury Season 2. That's going to wrap up this Orange Ranger Videos news report. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought when you heard this news and what you think of my reaction to it down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video, how I changed the set, or just anything else about that. And if you're looking for a way to support the channel besides Patreon or Ko-fi, check out my Teespring store and get yourself some sweet merch, Teespring Orange Ranger Videos. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Look at all the saluting room I've got over here. Ooh. Now, if I'm making a news video, I must have a pretty major announcement to talk about, and indeed I do. I just don't know what it is. So, it's been a very interesting year for Power Rangers. 2021 has been. The #1 kids TV network and the #1 kids action. I feel like I should react to this in two parts. What I think about... I said that one is that, oddly enough, a problem solved by Nickelodeon's odd airing schedule a problem solved. The other is the reported rumors of a Hasbro. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of it by hitting the thing that you do.